we're back here on the show, and we're here with Peter Henry from GrowthLogic. And Peter, great to see you again. I know we were hanging out a little bit before the new year, but here we are again.
Thank
live
you
on the show this
Sandra,
time.
Pleasure to be here.
Nice to have you.
So now GrowthLogic. Now, you know, we had a conversation before, but I need a refresher, and of course everybody else needs to find out.
Yeah,
about
this is new to me.
So let's find out what GrowthLogic is.
Okay, well, GrowthLogic is business growth by design. Okay, our company has been about 6-7 years in the making, and what we've really been doing is concentrating on delivering key components that are required to get a project or a company to market. And I've had a lot of experience with early stage companies as well as large corporates. And the framework really came out of that we apply and work with our customers on. It really came out of our experience in corporate Canada. So GrowthLogic is specifically business growth by design.
That's very interesting in a nutshell.
Yeah, thank you. It's a bit of our tagline. Our other tagline is strategy into action. So what we can do with any organization effectively is take a large, the vision and that strategy, and sublimate that down using our online tool sets and create action that gets these companies from A to B. Goals, get you through your goals. So, that's the foremost, and we have consultants, we have a knowledge base, and we also have a portal.
Okay, so before we get into it, so let's just, you mentioned experience in corporate Canada. So first of all, so you are the founder and manager. Who else is on the team that we should know about, and what is some more of the details of the corporate experience that that tells me a little bit about what it is that you're trying to do and how you can help people to take strategy to action.
Okay. I'll tell you a little bit about one of our managing partners. He's a fellow named Clark Ferguson. He's previously head of corporate security for Bell Canada. He was head of corporate security for Nortel and BC Hydro. And effectively, we worked together in Bell Canada for a number of years. That's our past. It's well into our past now. But it was great corporate experience about process and projects and what's required in any business situation to make it successful. And the framework was designed effectively by Clark to take organizations through this. And it doesn't necessarily need to be large organizations or large corporates. The same business framework works for any small company.
And I think that's the economy that we're headed into.
Yes.
Is entrepreneurs, everybody being essentially working for themselves.
It's the do-it-yourself.
Exactly.
The do-it-yourself.
Can you give us a little bit of information about what this framework is? What is that?
The 10-point framework gives us a way to take our customers through in a step-by-step process and effectively using our tool sets. And those tool sets are totally collaborative. In other words, I'm online with and looking at our tools, and I'll explain a little bit more about those in a little bit. But when you're online looking at those tools, you can be online looking at that, and I can be looking at that a million miles away, saying, "Here's what I'm looking at and helping you with," and they have linkages to the action plan, so to speak. Okay, and I'm going to use an example. It's probably best.
Okay.
So we've got a retailer out of London. We have another company that's a safety video company out of Vancouver. We're working with another information distribution company in Toronto. And effectively, we're able to set up all the projects and have those project elements link right to task management that shoots it out by email to each one of the participants in the organization and puts it right into their calendar. And so you get from, here's the big picture up here, and we're going to get you down to the task that gets you over here to your goal.
So that's what makes up this framework.
The framework is actually 10 specific areas, and we've broken it
I
down into 3 elements so that it's understandable. And that's okay, let me, one of the reasons I did this, and Clark did this with me, was to bring a little simplicity to business and take the worry away. I don't know, everybody who's run a business before knows that, you know, you go to bed at night and you're worrying about, did I do this? Did I do this? Did I call the accountant? Did I call the lawyer? Did I do the, you know, oh boy, am I in compliance with this or that in the food industry perhaps, or whatever. When we create the framework actually allows us to manage all of those elements very easily and put them into one place for you, and you can very easily see in a dashboard format where you have your strengths and weaknesses. So you can literally get up in the morning, click on the interface, and see marketing, finance, sales, governance, project management, operations.
It almost sounds like WordPress for business, almost.
Effectively, that's what we're doing. We're giving everybody a simple interface, and there's a lot that works in the background. So, you know, the background of that is that, you know, there's 3 areas. The 3 areas are what we call business architecture elements. That includes product, marketing, and customers. So, and we find that a lot of companies are pretty good at that. They know what their marketing plans are. They pretty much know their product. We use, you know, we apply things like continuous improvement on the product development side. And on the customer side, they may know their customer really well. And if they're involved in social media marketing and that kind of thing, they tend to know them better than most. So we're looking at, that's business architecture elements. The second area, and let me finish the 3. So the business architecture elements, then we have the second area, which is critical business drivers. And the third area is performance management systems. So when you take a look at the 3 categories, there's elements within each one of them. So strategy and planning, people, reporting and governance, and there's one I'm missing. What's that? Finance. It's one that some people actually have a mental block about, right? Finance. Oh my gosh, you know. And then the third area is project management. It's risk management, and that's the one that can bite you. You know, that can be the F word for your company, fatal.
That's not the F word I was thinking, but okay.
Which one were you thinking of, Sandra?
Friendly.
So when you miss something in risk management, like your insurance or your taxes or your security of your internet data,
Absolutely.
you could be in pretty
Freaked
dire.
out. That would be it. Freaked out.
Okay.
Yeah, F for freaked out. I agree. Yeah, that's the first reaction.
Okay, Peter. So wait, I just want to get clarity about. So who are the people, the target people that would benefit from using GrowthLogic?
Any company that is starting a new project, any company that is an early stage company, and perhaps they have new investors, they have or they're in an incubator. We have a way for our dashboard to display to the incubator or the investor a very quick view of that company to say, hey, there's a green, there's a red, and there's a yellow. I'm going to not worry about the green because everything's going well in marketing, but there's a yellow in finance. I better go talk to the finance guy. And something's red in products, so we've had maybe somebody didn't get a shipment, or there's a project problem, right? We've got to talk to the people in product and see what's going on.
Okay, so really anybody that's in early stages, or maybe they haven't even started yet, but this might be a great way for them to organize their whole business, right?
It's an excellent way to organize your business. Like right from the get-go.
You know, and it sounds to me like it's actually a really good way to learn about how to run a business. You don't have to be all that technical or that smart in running a business to be able to run this program, right?
That's exactly right. We've done everything online, and I have to mention the one thing is a lot of companies who have done something like what we've done, they don't really have the easy use logical framework that we have.
Right.
But what they do is they try to get you into a software package or platform, and you're stuck in their platform.
Right.
Like you're in there.
Yeah.
And once you've got all your data in there, it's kind of hard to get away from that, right? And the one thing that's fabulous about our day and age right now is we've got software as a service, and we're looking at companies that offer the best in monitoring and service packages for everything within our framework, within our
Right.
portal.
Okay.
So when you go into the portal, you click on something, sees your project management. You click on something else that would give you all of your finance information. You click on something else that is a whole file set. And a lot of this is just about communication. You know, you guys know the communication business better than I do. But if you don't continually reinforce with people what's the next step, it's...
Well, and the better you have this project laid out with everybody, the better it is also if you have to go away or if you're taken away for an emergency, everything is there so somebody else can easily take it over,
Exactly.
correct?
Exactly right. That's again what I would put into the risk management area as business continuity. You have a business continuity plan sitting right in front of you
Yeah.
because everything's at your fingertips.
It's not all kept up here
not
in
all
your
kept up here.
head. And it's like, oh my God, if this person's sick because they're overworked, especially when you have a small business, because you tend to be wearing so many hats and you end up being exhausted. And so everything is here and then you're stuck if that person is out of commission
Leads
for a bit.
or
Yeah.
And the nice part about too the tools that we have, and I'll give you an idea, is the project management tools. When you would link to a particular task on a project, all of the associated data is linked right to it. So you're not looking around for stuff. All your data is in one place, and it's easy to find. So, you know, the one thing about this is organization. Is what we do is logical, simple, easy to implement, and you have an organization platform for your entire business.
So I'd like to get an idea, putting myself and describing for the viewers out there, people out there that are either starting a business or at the early stages of their business. Like, what does it look like when they get up that morning and start using GrowthLogic?
Well, when you're part of GrowthLogic, it's a lot easier. You have, you know, the worry off your mind because you see everything in the 10 points of the framework and what you need to concentrate on. You have clarity of mind, and clarity of mind makes better decisions.
Of course.
And better decisions make sustained success.
Right.
So we have that, you know, the pattern is exactly that. It's simplify, make it easy to find and look at, and it also makes it's very collaborative. All the tool sets are collaborative, so it's easy to delegate. So you can have somebody in charge of each one of the 10 points of the framework within your company. If you've got 10 people, or you give everybody a couple of the responsibilities, it's very easy to delegate.
Okay, so as the CEO or as one of those 10 other people that I've delegated an aspect to, like, what do I do? Do I log onto the website, sign in, and start filling out forms, or how does it work?
So what we're doing right now is you basically fill, if you're going to go to www.growthlogic.biz, we have an assessment form, and we're advancing that shortly. You're going to see a newer version coming out, more like a wizard. We take you through and ask you a number of questions about your business, and then we'll contact you. And it's important to understand that there is a one-on-one consultant relationship here too. And it sounds heady for a lot of online companies to say, oh yeah, we're going to have a one-on-one. And that part is the consultant portal, as it will be in the future, basically will allow you to go and find the expert in each one of the 10 areas. That you got a particular question in legal or finance or marketing or sales, you click on that, you put your visa in for $150 and get experts who've run this stuff through multiple companies and have years of experience. And all of our consultants who are coming on board are seasoned, dedicated, and really passionate about what they do. So that's a key differential from other organizations.
Okay, so is it up and running right now? Somebody who's can people start using the system immediately?
They can on a one-on-one, more manual basis, and we're rolling out our. We've got a bunch of things to talk to you guys about, including something I'm not going to mention here, but we'd like to come back to Liquid Lunch and tell you when we've launched everything in its complete form.
Okay.
So, answer is, yeah, we're a little early stage right now. We're totally able to help anybody that contacts us, but certainly if you're an early stage company and you're starting something and you don't know business really well, we can make your life
So
simple.
even now, people can go to growthlogic.biz right now
Right.
and just start the process.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So it sounds like you know a lot about where you're going. And why did you start this to begin with? Where does this come from?
It's I'll take you the short story through this because I was an entrepreneur when I was 17 years old. I had my first company and I employed 5 kids and I made a lot of money.
It wasn't a lemonade stand?
It wasn't a lemonade stand. Actually, you know what it was? It's candle making.
Wow.
But I had 5 salesmen on the road. I was pouring 40 candles a day, and it went on and on and on. And my
Good
parents,
for you.
my
That's
father
amazing.
used to give me a fire extinguisher for my birthday. That was great. So, the reality is I was an entrepreneur early, and then after university, I went into corporate. And then I left again. I was an entrepreneur again, 100% commission running a company that I finally sold. And then I went into corporate again, into the telecom business, and then here we are. I guess about 10 years after that, I became an entrepreneur again. So I can't stay away from it. I love that. And I think every one of the people in our organization have that entrepreneurial bent to them. So they're excited about helping people. And I think that's part of the culture of GrowthLogic is the passion that we have to help, especially early stage companies, but we're certainly able to help projects in major companies or.
Well, there's clearly a spirit that entrepreneurs have that you don't see with major corporations. It's
Yes.
a very, very different vibe
Mhm.
when you are with. That's one of the things I love about doing the show is that we get to meet so many people who are so passionate about what they do because they're not caught up in this huge corporation. They actually get to see and communicate with their customers, and there's that whole local, I guess, grassroots kind of feel.
That's
and there's
right.
a definite spirit about that. So I can see why that would be really contagious.
It is contagious, and the other part about to mention our service again, it makes it much easier for those folks to move forward because again, you're not worried about the next step because it's all in front of you, and that's the biggest worry about being an entrepreneur. Where am I going to get my next funding from? Where am I going to get my next marketing guy from? How am I going to pay for that? How am I going to move my product from this to where I want it to be? And those action steps are the most important to drive a business. So business growth by design. And
Wow. It sounds like you're a bit motivational too, though. It sounds like there's a bit of motivational stuff happening here too. You're really helping people to believe in their product as well, because I know if I have an idea, I would have no idea. Although I have the idea for the product, I'd have no idea how to put that out to the market.
So let me give you one last example. We take you through the process and the assessment. We map everything, and we actually create what we call a mind map.
Okay.
And we show that to you, and then there's a lot of interaction on the front end of this to make sure that we're getting all the real data that you've given us, and from that we can see what's missing. We can see the areas that need concentration. We can see the areas that are already strong, or we can bring people in to give you even better help.
Have you ever seen an idea that you thought, oh, I don't think this is going to fly?
Yeah, actually, that's a good question, because we do see ideas that, once somebody goes through the framework and through our steps and our process, they say, wow, maybe this isn't such a good idea. One of the key things
So you save them a lot of frustration that way too then.
one of the key things we do in strategy and planning is a competitive grid. It's a standard piece of step that we take. So we do a competitive grid with them. And you look at the functionalities that you're offering versus your competitors and see how different you are.
So you really get to see, wow, whether this product is even worth investing my time, money, effort, or should
Absolutely.
I just
We have
bail out now?
This is what we call the living business case.
Okay.
Because everything's online and available to you and
Wow.
your partners, that is the living business case. It
Wow.
shows you, instead of pulling up to, I guess you remember the times when, and I don't know if you've been through this, Hugh, in terms of starting ThatChannel, but if you've ever been in front of pitching an investor, that process can be very intimidating. And instead of giving them a document that's 30 pages with an executive summary and the projected finances of 3 years, and et cetera, we do all that still. And we have templates for all that to be done, but it makes it real when you can show an investor, look, this is how we're getting from here to here.
Well, it sounds like,
Wow.
when you just write that business plan yourself, you don't have, it doesn't go through all those checks and balances of evaluating everything that you've put into your business plan.
Exactly.
And that's what the dragons or the investors are there to do. They're there to see if it's bulletproof or not.
Exactly.
And it sounds like the framework allows people to, it evaluates every aspect of their business. So by the time they come out of it, theoretically, it would be bulletproof.
It's as close to bulletproof as you can get, because, and the other part is when an investor sees it and goes, boy, these guys have a project for every aspect of their business. And that's the other one thing I'm going to say about, I talk about project planning. And project planning can be kind of intimidating for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be. We tried to keep it simple, take the complexity out of projects, so that it's very simple to follow. I mean, project, if you have to go and take a course on Microsoft Project or something, for 10 weeks before you start a project, that's not going to be any good for most people, right? That's no good. You have to, if you can flip something open online that we have, set up your project in 10 minutes, and then start following the tasks and seeing the timeline being, or extending the timeline if you have to a little bit, but adjusting things.
Do you help them to help a business to vision 1 year, 3 years? Do you do that? Is there a bit of that?
Absolutely. That's usually in strategy and planning.
Okay.
And
You know what this sounds like to me? Speaking of dragons, this would be an amazing thing for a lot of those people who go on that show, Dragon's Den. They haven't thought a lot of this stuff out. If they came to you and had all of this planned out, and then they went on to Dragon's Den, they'd probably really secure their chances.
Exactly. And I always look at Dragon's Den and think, oh, the good ones that never make it, I'd love to call them and say, come.
Isn't that interesting?
Let us help you, because
Yeah, interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else we haven't asked you about that we should?
You might want to mention?
Yeah.
No, the only thing is we're growing quickly. We're excited, and you can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, online at www.growthlogic.biz, and
You don't want
and
to talk
on
about how you're
LinkedIn.
growing? You don't want to talk about that at all? Anything you want to let us know?
I'm going to come back to you
Okay,
guys. I want to
okay.
come back in about 6 months, 4 to 6 months, and show you everything.
Wow. The
so-
truth shall be revealed.
It's a bit of a reveal, yeah. We're there helping people right now. So
Oh, sounds great. Sounds like what you do is amazing.
thank you.
Okay, Peter. Thanks for doing this. So people can go check it out right now. www.growthlogic.biz.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this.
Appreciate it.
And
Thank
we look
you.
forward to having you back.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so let's take a little break, and we're going to come back with our next guest as like
Boy, the
lunch
last two have just been so
continues.
heady.